I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. Ready to introduce the new head coach of the Denver Broncos, Josh McDANIEL. Josh, would you please come up?
I'd like to thank Pat Bowlen and the Broncos organization for giving me this opportunity. I'm excited and looking forward very much to the opportunity to lead this team. I'd like to thank my wife Laura, who's here with me today, for all of her support and understanding. It's a difficult business to go through, and she's given me an opportunity every day to pursue my dreams, and I couldn't ask for someone better to stand beside me. I'd like to thank my parents, Tom and Chris. I come from a football family. They've given me all the direction and guidance that a young man would want to have. They've given me the opportunity to fall in love with this game that I've been a part of basically all my life. I owe them so much, and am looking forward to sharing this process with them. I'd like to thank Mr. Kraft and the Patriots organization for all the opportunities that they have given me professionally and all the things that they've allowed my family to be a part of with the New England Patriots for the last 8 seasons. I'd like to personally thank Bill Belichick for providing me my foundation in this league and for mentoring me for 8 years. I've formed a special bond with him that will last long after I'm done coaching in this game, and my appreciation for what he's done for me can't be expressed just in words. I'd like to thank Charlie Weiss for teaching me the basis of the system offensively that we've used for the last 5 seasons in New England, and for also teaching me how to handle adversity, because anybody who's worked with or for Charlie knows that you're going to have to handle adversity when you work with Charlie. This is an opportunity that doesn't come along very often, and I know I'm coming to a place where winning is the most important thing. It's very clear to me during this process that it's the most important thing to Mr. Bowlen. It's the most important thing to this organization. I've learned very quickly that it's the most important thing to the fans in this community, and it's certainly going to be the most important thing to the coaches and the players of the Denver Broncos. I want this team to be tough, smart, and prepared to play well under pressure. And the evaluation process of how to get this team to that point is going to start today, and it's going to be ongoing. Everybody here in this organization is going to be held accountable to do their job, their piece of the puzzle, to fit in to make this team a competitor for championships every season. We're going to be as precise as we can in every phase of our preparation, in every phase of our daily operation, and in our performance on game day. I'm very excited to share in this commitment to win, and I can't wait to get started. Thank you.
Question. Josh, can you imagine at 32 years old to be a head coach in the NFL?
I don't really think that that's something that I stop and think about at all. It's never been, my age has never been a factor. It's never going to be a factor. It's about performance. It's about what you're capable of getting the players to do. It's about the information that you can give them, and it's about doing your job to the best of your ability. And that's what I'm going to do. It's what I've done my entire career, and that's what I'm going to do going forward.
How much did you look at the Broncos before the interview?
Well, when the job came open, certainly it was something that I had to look at very seriously. It's a great place with a great history, a great tradition. It's a place where you come where the culture is about winning. It's not something where you have to recreate that culture. And that's something that was very attractive to me, and I'm sure other candidates. Did as much research as I could before the process began. And then, obviously, I went through that on a couple different meetings with the Broncos and their organization, the people that I met with. And this is definitely a dream come true to have an opportunity to lead this team and this organization. Is something that I couldn't have imagined would come up, but once it did, it was certainly an opportunity that I was going to jump at.
What about in the last year transpired that makes you more confident going forward?
I think last year the timing wasn't right for me. Our season that we were having last year in New England was a little different than the one we had this year. Not making the playoffs allowed me to get into this process right away as soon as the season ended. I've spent a lot of time in preparation over the past year, getting myself more ready to go in case this opportunity did present itself again. And I just feel like the timing is right. I've had an opportunity to experience a lot of things. This year was certainly a different experience for me, the way that our season went. And I think it better prepared me to go into this next step of my career. And this year the timing's right, and I'm thrilled to be here in Denver. I have not. That will be something that will take place here, I'm sure, very shortly. There's a lot of people that I want to reach out to and speak with here shortly, players, coaches that are still on the staff, and that'll happen here soon.
Your assistant coaches, have you on a short list for your defensive coordinators, your different, have you talked to some coaches already?
There's some people that I've spoken with. In the process today and tomorrow we'll really start to pick up here a little bit. But there's definitely a short list of candidates here that we'd like to get in and interview and go through the process with and make the best choices we can for those positions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's different. I think I've had a lot of great mentors. Nick Saban was also one of the people that I've worked for and under. Tried to take some things from Nick, tried to take some things from Bill and Charlie along the way. I hope I've taken all the good things from them. I would, the way I coach and the way I try to lead is by being more prepared than everybody else, trying to do that on a daily basis, because I think that's what players respond to. Players want to win, they want to be taught, they want to improve, and they want to have an opportunity to be successful. And as a coach, that's your job, and that's what I want to do every day when I come into the office. I want to be prepared, and I want to have an opportunity to give them a chance to succeed with whatever system or scheme that we're using on that particular day or that particular week. So, that's kind of my hallmark. I want to be prepared. I want them to be prepared, and we're going to play tough. We're going to play smart, and we're going to play well under pressure. And that's really the way that preparation is going to extend to them on the playing field. Mm-hmm. Yep. At times, when it has to happen, of course. I think that's what you do when you're in this profession. I don't think you do it unnecessarily, but I like to believe I'm a teacher. I like to believe that I can communicate. That's a very important word for me. I think that goes from the top down. And when you need to get your hands dirty in this game, you've got to be willing to do it. And I think the players accept that, look forward to it when it's necessary, and they'll respond to it accordingly.
Josh, being a kid from Canton, Ohio, home of the Football Hall of Fame, your father status in the state of Ohio, all of us coaches aspire to get a job like this. When Mr. Bolin said, "I want you to become the 12th head coach of the Denver Broncos," what were you feeling at that moment, knowing everything was paid off and your dream was being realized?
It's been a long road with a lot of great influences for me. When that conversation took place, I was very eager to accept that. Growing up in Canton is a very important part of my life. Football is next to nothing. The people in Canton love this game. They cherish the weekend that they get to really shine in August. And growing up, going to two-a-day, I've been going to two-a-day since I was 5 years old. So, for 27 straight years, I know that sounds silly because I'm 32, but for 27 straight years I've been going to practices beginning of August, until now. So that's where I learned to love the game. My father loves the game, and it's something that I think, kids that grow up in Canton, Ohio, that's something that you have a great opportunity to fall in love with, because it's right there, it's present, and it matters. And it certainly matters to me.
John, this team's issues are on the defensive side. For an offensive back, how do you fix this team's defense, and how long will it take you to fix it?
Well, first of all, I'd say that as much as I have coached offense in the past 4 or 5 years here, that I'm a football coach that's been built to understand defense. That's where I learned my foundation. Defense is very important to how we will attack people offensively. As much as I can say that I'm proud to have worked with the offense the last 4 years, I'm a football coach, and I want to have an opportunity to affect the kicking game, defense, offense, every phase of the game. And I think that my goal as the head coach is not to just improve the defense, it's to improve the team. And there's areas where this team can improve offensively, it can improve defensively, and it can improve in the kicking game. And I think that's part of the evaluation that starts today. And we're going to evaluate the people, we're going to evaluate the scheme, we're going to evaluate the coaches that we bring in here, and we're going to determine what the best way to go about winning championships is. And that's our goal and our focus, and it's not just specific to the defensive side, but certainly we can improve in that area as well. It's something that we're going to, once the coordinator is named, we'll discuss the personnel that we have here and the direction that we want to go. And I don't necessarily think that that is always the same, based on what they've done in the past. You may have personnel that's more suited to one scheme, but you may want to start to go towards another. And so there's going to be decisions that have to be made on what we can do in the near future and where we want to go with it, here in the long term. But we want to have a consistent scheme. I think that's something that's, as somebody who's played against this team for quite a few years here, I've had an opportunity to play against them 5 or 6 times in New England. The scheme and the system have changed quite a bit, and want to bring some consistency to that, and make sure that we try to improve whatever that system and that scheme is from day one throughout. I'm sorry? Yes. Yes, I will. Yes.
Conversations with Pat Bowen, have you come to any understanding in terms of how much influence you will have in the selection of personnel?
I think it's, I've met Jim Goodman and his staff in the personnel department. I think it's going to be a situation where we're going to collaborate on what we feel is best for the football team going forward from a personnel standpoint. Certainly, Jim has done a great job in terms of evaluating players from the college level and free agents, and he knows this league. He knows the players that are going to come into this league, and I look forward to working with him in collaboration to try to create the best roster with the most depth that we possibly can.
In the situations where there's a difference of opinion, who has the final say?
Hopefully, there's not many of those, but Jim would make the call if there's an issue in terms of personnel.
Josh, you addressed how you will be different in the same former players, but beyond that, if you talk about the culture, you have been mentored by 3 coaches who were arrogant, somewhat above the crowd, distant from the fans, distant from the press? Are you a different person from the way they yell? Do you know that?
Sure. You know, I try to focus on all the positive things that those people have given me the opportunity to see. But I think you'll certainly see me bring a little bit of a different vibe. I'm going to have a lot of energy. I can smile. There's some things that, you know, I think people will like and get used to. But, you know, like I said, I think it's, you know, the personality of the coach, and this is true of everybody, you know, any coach or any player, you know, it comes through over time. You get an opportunity to see how I differ from them. It's hard to describe that necessarily standing right here, but, you know, there's going to be some things that'll be different.
Follow up on that. As offensive coordinator, you were involved in the other thing because you were part of controversy.
What was that?
How did you deal with that as a coach? It was described by you as a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware that you were violating the rules? How did that affect you morally as a coach? And did it affect you? And were you taking advantage of it?
The answer, well, no. That situation was something that happened. I was not aware of that, not aware of it, not aware of all the things that did happen in terms of that whole scenario. You know, and it really didn't affect us, really, to tell you the truth. It was all about preparation and trying to do whatever we felt was best that week. It really didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't. Mm-hmm.
You did discover, and I assume you know what the ramifications were. How did you feel as a coach, being taught that situation?
I don't think it's good. I mean, to have that kind of attention was a distraction. I think that's how we all treated it. But, you know, we try to do the best we can to limit those distractions every week. It'll be no different here. Certainly never looking to do anything that's not within the rules established by the National Football League. And they determined the punishment on that. It was what it was, and we moved on.
Josh, you talked several times about those three coaches. Can you kind of talk about your father? You talked about growing up in football. How much of his coaching and his personality as a coach as well, and how did he react when he heard you?
He's very proud. I'm sure he's very, very proud today. And my father is, you know, I've had the most opportunity to witness him because I started obviously when I was very young. So I've had more years with him and around him than any of those other coaches that I've mentioned. You know, he's a very good teacher. He's great with the players. He's emotional when he needs to be. And those are all things that I hope to take from him. I think the one thing about my father that I know that I do take every day into this job is his passion. There's nothing about this game that's unimportant to him, and I would say that's true for myself. And that's how I approach this job every day, and I think everyone will see that come through.
Your predecessor, was standing up there and said about the defense specifically, there's a lot of work to do. What is your assessment?
Well, I think that'll be something that'll be ongoing. I mean, I don't have every single answer here relative to the defense, the offense, or in terms of the special teams. But I think starting early tomorrow morning, we'll be looking to try to evaluate what we have. I think that's the first place you want to start, is evaluating what you've done and what you have here. I've done it some back in New England, but you know, haven't had an opportunity to sit at my desk yet, but I'll be looking forward to that. And I can't wait to get started on that process. I think that's something that's, again, like I said, not just applicable to the defense. It's not one side of the ball here. This is a team that won 8 games, and I think anytime you win 8 games and fall short of your goal or expectations, I think there's a lot of things that need to be improved, and that's what we're going to do.
What about the future of the offensive assistants here? About the assistants that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm going to have an opportunity to speak with them here, you know, as soon as I can. have conversations with them. There's no preconceived notion on what's going to happen with them. I don't know most of them. I have a relationship with one or two of them cordially, but I haven't had an opportunity to work with any of them. I know they're all fine coaches, and they've done a great job here, and I think that's just a decision that will be made over the next few days.
How about you start?
Well, there you go. For the last 20 minutes, we've been listening to the new head coach of the Broncos. That takes a little getting used to, for a long time.
It certainly does. And just, we're commenting he's 32 and he looks 32 or younger, but we were also just chatting about the fact that he probably has not spent a lot of time as offensive coordinator in front of the media.
No.
So to come out in front of the national media, on a day like today has got to be nerve-wracking no matter who you are. He's actually handled himself very well.
Yeah, he's like Bill Belichick is a head coach with a lot of authority, just like Mike Shanahan had, and he wanted there to be one voice in the organization, his. And so the assistants, you never heard from them until they got jobs like Josh McDaniels has today, and now his voice will be a huge one. But I like what he said. He's not Bill Belichick. He can smile once in a while. Hopefully he'll be a little more free with the give and take of information. He thanked his parents. He thanked all the coaches. And he thanked some of the guys he used to work with, like Charlie Weiss. And he said, this is a place where you absolutely have to win.
Yeah,
so he understands.
I thought that was very interesting, considering Pat Boland's, news conference saying, we're going to win. And that was the first thing he said.
A lot of things, Ron. We're at Choppers right now in Cherry Creek, one of the quintessential Bronco bars. It is big news around here, and for a lot of folks it's good news around here, but not everybody is in love with this pick.
Pick up a pattern about
there is a new sheriff in town.
I think it's exciting. He obviously comes from a great program, and I think he'll do good things.
Just happy, I guess, that they found a coach.
But not everybody certain the Broncos got the right guy. The problem most fans will tell you was this year the defense, and the new coach, Josh McDaniels, is an offensive whiz.
Their big problem, everybody knows, is defense, special teams.
So now it's going to be a rebuilding stage, and some of our prime guys are getting older right now. So he's got his work cut out for him on the defensive side.
If there is any agreement, it's that this season's crushing disappointment leaves room to improve.
Couldn't do no worse than they did this year, so they got to go up sometime.
And McDaniel's youth might be a chance to start over.
He's young. It's kind of a bit nerve-wracking, but overall, I think he'll have what it takes.
We're a young team, so I think the players will respond to him well. Maybe Shanahan had a little problem with the age difference.
But the changing of the guard leaves some fans missing the old coach, riding off now into the sunset.
Hopefully the next guy can fill his shoes as well as Mike did.
So a lot of questions a lot of fans had, even if they like Josh McDaniels. Number one question, what is he going to do to fix the defense? So, we didn't hear a lot about that today specifically, did we, Ron? And one question I have, is he going to adopt Bill Belichick's cut-off sweatshirt, hoodie, kind of hobo outfit on the sidelines? I want to know that.
I knew you'd work that word hobo in there. No, I'm going to speak for him. I don't think he will. He's going to be a little bit more sartorial splendor than Bill Belichick.
For all of us here in Denver, let's hope not.
Okay, from Fox 31's John Romero at Choppers, Kim Posey continues our live team coverage from FM Sports Radio 104.3 The Fan.
Kim, we're guessing the station has gotten, a lot of calls today.
You guessed right, Libby. We sat in with host Jim Armstrong and Sandy Clough this afternoon to hear what callers had to say. And there were a lot of people who were very surprised. There was a lot of mixed reactions, some pro, some con. But the biggest concern we heard was about the defense.
Phone call. John, welcome to the Sports Guys.
The phones are lighting up at Sports Radio 104.3 The Fan.
This is bigger than the governor appointing a senator. In this town, don't kid yourself. John Elway, to this day, is the biggest name to ever hit this town.
I like Josh McDaniels a lot. I think he's a pretty good pick.
Some callers are impressed with Josh McDaniels' history with the Patriots, but not all are supportive.
I think it was a no-brainer that they had to go defense, and I just got mixed feelings about it.
Many people have the same concerns.
I don't think it really makes too much sense to get rid of Shanahan as a head coach and pick up another offensive coach. I mean, that's not what this team needs. Correct. We got all the talent in the world on the offensive side of the ball. They're already developing, molding as their own team. We need somebody to kick this D in the butt. And an offensive coordinator, I mean, what kind of sense does that make?
Now, we did hear some talk about McDANIEL's age. Of course, he is 32 years old, but that really took a backseat to the concerns about defense. And Jim Armstrong said something that, Ron, I've heard you say before. In this town, the most high-profile people in town are the Broncos head coach and the quarterback. Back to you.
It's true. I've talked about that with Jim and Sandy over the years many times. It's true.
Yep, Kim Posey live tonight in Greenwood Village. And of course, stick with Fox 31 News and myfoxcolorado.com for continuing coverage of the Broncos' new era. We'll have the entire news conference, coach and player interviews, and any new updates as they happen.
Well, it's not just Josh McDaniel.